In the end, Pilantita was able to complete her mission. Princess Anil looked at Pilantita, pressing the last button of her nightgown, then said in a pleasant voice, as usual, "Yes, Kunpan. With that, please take a rest. I'll also leave now." Even though she was the one who said goodbye first, at this moment, Pilantita's beautiful brown eyes were full of longing for the person in front. Upon realizing that Lady Pen was behaving as if she were about to leave for the Bua Palace, Princess Anil gently touched Pilantita's slender shoulder with a pleading expression. "I have a headache." Upon hearing those few words, Pilantita's heart instantly melted, much like a wax under heat. She instinctively brushed Princess Anil's hair behind her ear with a delicate touch. "Is it painful?" Pilantita could only say to the person who snuggled nervously on her thin shoulder. "What should I do to make you feel better? Can you stay with me for a while?" Her voice was hoarse and weak, but it was filled with pleas. It squeezed Plantita's heart until it became more fragile than ever. "I can stay with you until you sleep. Can I sleep on your lap, Kunpan? Just as long as you do not ignore me again. I can give you more than a nap on my lap." Pilantita could only think so in her heart, but did not dare to utter that very exaggerated sentence. All she can do is be silent and not answer, knowing fully well that as long as she does not refuse, in the end, Princess Anil would have chosen to lie down on her lap, as she had already expected. The second her beautiful face rests on her lap, Pilantita's heart suddenly warms up. It's like a moment to cherish, a possession of something value that cannot be easily possessed, which she herself had never expected. Pilantita lifted her hand and gently stroked Princess Anil's hair, her heart filled with wonder and concern. Princess Anil's one clear cheeks were now flushed with fever, making her appear delicate and fragile. Pilantita continued to caress her with the utmost tenderness. "How did you get fever? I have never seen you sick before." Pilantita made a soft voice, as if talking to a little girl. "It must be from the drizzling rain," said Princess Anil in a hoarse voice. "Which day?" "The day I went to stand and see you off at the terrace. That day I sat on the balcony for most of the day." Pilantita was immediately silent and was sure she was the reason Princess Anil had gotten sick. "Why did you not come to see me for many days?" Princess Anil's hoarse words, mixed with intermittent cough, hit Lady Pin's heart into pain again. "Why do I come to see you every day?" Her words reacted arrogantly, but Lady Pin's thin hands gently caressed Princess Anil's soft hair. "Well, because I want to see your face every day." "Why do you want to see my face every day?" "No reason," said Princess Anil in a soft voice before closing her eyes, exhausted by the fever. "Your words sound like those of a spoiled person." "Perhaps it's because you have people pampering you all the time, which is why Anil is so spoiled," Pilantita remarked while gently caressing Princess Anil's lips, as she often did. "Anil is everyone's favorite." Lady Pin unconsciously stroked Anil's pink cheek. "Everyone loves and endears Anil." "But some don't," Princess Anil argued. "Who does not love Anil?" "You don't. You are the one who never loved me." Princess Anil spoke weakly, with her eyes still closed, unaware of the intense, passionate gaze from the person whose lap she was resting on. How do you know that I do not love you? Pilantita's voice was so full of sarcasm and sorrow that even the person who was lying on her lap began to identify it. You might. Princess Anil's voice is extremely vague, but not reciprocated with the same love as mine. How do you love? Can you tell me about it? Even though Pilantita was aware that asking this question would likely lead to her defeat, she still voiced it. Love because all my memories are filled with thoughts of you, Princess Anil said slowly, as if she were reciting poetry. And every time I think about it, my heart races and it aches. Love with the desire to get closer, to meet, to talk, to touch. As cherished, not wanting anyone to cling on. Love that fills with desire. What about you, Kunpin? Princess Anil looked up at Pilantita, who was silent at this time. How do you love me? Following Princess Anil's soft spoken words, it felt as though everything before Pilantita had suddenly dimmed, rendering her sight useless. The silence enveloped her, muffling the sounds of her surroundings, while her heart thudded like a drum and her breathing grew labored, akin to that of an unwell person. Pilantita was left stunned, struggling to regain control over her consciousness as best as she could. We, Pilantita finally spoke her heart out. How can we love each other like that? The question is, what definition do you love me? Said Princess Anil in a calm voice. It's not that we can love each other or not at all. At this time, Lady Pilantita could only bite her lips tightly, as she always likes to do every time she has to ponder. But the story this time is too difficult for her to handle. I I do not know. I do not know how I love you. After suppressing it to the greatest, but in the end, Pilantita's tears finally fell on Princess Anil's cheek. Princess Anil raised her hand, gently wiping away Lady Pilantita's tears, as if she intended to console the person beneath her. If there is someone in your mind from the first moment you wake up until the last moment before sleeping, if there is someone you suffer even more when you see her depressed, anxious, as she acted differently, feeling so happy when you are close with and have a conversation. If there is someone who makes you feel uncomfortable when she is closer to others than you, if there is one, that person is Anil, isn't it? Princess Anil's dark eyes were so serious that Pilantita did not dare to lie. I, Anil, I, Kunpin, said Princess Anil with a solemn voice, as soon as she saw Lady Pilantita's hesitant expression. Please think carefully before answering. I do not rush a thing, Kunpin. Today, if I said anything that misled you, just consider that I am delirious because I have a fever. Princess Anil said slowly, closing her eyes again, strengthless. Do not take anything for granted, Kunpen. That's it for this chapter, guys, and I see you soon with new chapter of Loyal Pin Volume 1. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps support the channel and keep me motivated. Thank you.